Hey team, welcome back. Today I'm heading over to the WNBA and I'm so excited to talk to this Australian superstar. She's won a silver medal at the World Cup and Asia Cup with the Australian Opals, and she's gone to 2 Olympics, and in the latest games she won a bronze medal and she absolutely stood out, receiving All-Star 5 honours as well. She's obviously, stating that, a key factor for the Australian Opals national team. She also attended Stanford University, where she had a great collegiate career, which led her to be the 8th overall draft pick. And now she's currently playing for the Minnesota Lynx in the WNBA. So, with further ado, I'd like to introduce my very special guest, Alanna Smith.
Hi.
Thanks for joining me today, Lan. I know you're super busy. You guys are playing every second day. I just said to you that off air, but you just got off a game versus the Las Vegas Aces, where you personally also had a great game, just had a cheeky double-double with 10 points, 13 rebounds, and then just add to the tally 3 assists and 2 iconic blocks that we'll talk about in a little bit. But how did you pull up after your game?
A little sore after that one. It was a bit of a battle. The first half was scary, but we put it out in the second. So it's worth all the aches and pains for a win.
Yeah, amen. And this early on in the season, you've already just been handing out invitations to your block parties. I've been watching many of your games, and they're not even like low-key ones. It's like, hey, I'm smashing the ball out of bounds and letting you know about it, and I absolutely love it. Currently, you're ranked 3rd on the leaderboard with reigning MVP Asia Wilson sitting at 1, and Ezzy Opal's sister only like really slightly just at 2nd. But I don't know if there's something in these Aussie waters, but what makes you so good at blocks? Is it a natural thing, or is it like timing, really tactical skills comes into it?
I think it's a combination of things. Like, I have very long arms, which is helpful. And then I think it's also timing, and it's taken me a while to get to this point. I was a chronic foul. I would chronically foul out of games as a young player, and so I've had to adjust timing wise, and then I also think just like playing on the team that I'm on at the moment, I feel really safe taking risks. Like, I can risk trying to go get a block because I know my team's going to back me up.
And I love that you have that safe place, and I feel like watching the Lynx, that's definitely how you guys play. And I was actually speaking to mum and dad last night, saying I was chatting to you, and dad brought up, because you and our dad loved having, a good old convo on the baseline when we were playing at Nuttaway Inspectors. And dad's like, oh, you speaking of Bambi? Because that's what I called you back in the day. But I think it's so good because there are so many girls in basketball who are so tall that it takes a while to grow into your body, get that timing. So I think for any young girl who's like, hey, I had those issues as well, just like stick with it. And it proves that that can be something that then is your superpower, which I think is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, sorry to interrupt.
No.
No, I think there's always growth to be had in your game. Like, there's always improvements that you can make, and like, it can be really little things like block shots or something like that. So it's cool to see little improvements pop up every now and then.
Yeah. And so obviously, while we're speaking about blocking shots and stuff, you're obviously just known as a very versatile power forward with such a strong defensive skill set. You get steals, you get deflections, you do those little things that they might not necessarily be on the stat sheet, but your length and mobility, like you're playing a 5, probably a tad undersized, but like you're so agile. Like, that is such a strength of your game, and I love watching it. And then on the offensive end, you just like, you have a motor because you just run on trends, and I'm like, that's my girl, just keep going. And you have great players who are feeding you the ball that then make you want to run more, and off the pick and roll, how you do it in the links, like, is super successful. And then spot up 3-point shooter. Like, you've just really grown your game, and it's so great to see. And you're already off to an amazing start this season. But I guess, what are you looking to elevate or add for the rest of this season into your game?
Yeah, thank you, by the way. It's very kind of you. Feeling
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm here to gas my girl up.
more. No, I think I started off really hot from the three, and I think that, like, law of averages, you're not always going to shoot the ball amazingly, so it's kind of like plateaued out a little bit. So I'm hoping to like keep that percentage at a high rate, like just be able to shoot the ball at a good clip. But then also be able to step up in moments when my team needs me. For example, like it's a really long season. You don't know what's going to happen. We're going to have people that might be injured or players that have an off night. And if that means like I need to score more, then like being able to step into that space. Or if they need me to be more of a facilitator, then that's kind of what I'm trying to do for this team, is just like fill those gaps, because like I do have quite a wide skill set. I can kind of like fill those gaps where they're needed.
And I couldn't agree more. Like you said, you go to the national team and you step up. Like you have all those attributes that you can bring. But I think, like I said, watching you in the Lynx, everyone does their role. And on any given day, it's basketball. You step up and do something extra. But it does look like you all have each other's backs. And like you said, you're not scared to take risks and you back each other. And for me, that's why I think if I'm watching you compared to other teams, you're like beyond successful with what you're doing. But I think you've just really grown and like spread your wings at Minnesota. I feel like this again, just my opinion, it doesn't really matter, but have just like found a home and somewhere where you fit perfectly. Like, what do you think that key factor was in finally just like you've really made a mark now in the WNBA? Like, people know who you are. You're on people's like scout. They need to know what you're doing. And you're a starter. Like, why do you think Lynx was the perfect fit?
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to our head coach, Cheryl Reeves. She just really understood my skill set and knew that I could provide something for the team. And she kind of instilled that confidence in me from very, very early on. Like we had a big conversation, I think last year before the season started. And she was like, I know that you're going to follow instruction, you're going to play hard, and you're going to make the right decisions. And so I don't have to worry about you. Like, I know that you're going to do the right thing. So, like, you're like someone that I really, really trust out there on the floor. And I was like, hell yeah.
Yes.
Like, this is
Love
awesome.
this for me.
Yeah. Like I really hadn't experienced that in the professional world of basketball. Like no one had sat down, had that conversation with me, and then like backed it up in like playing me in like big games and like big minutes and starting me. And I was like, oh, this is sick. Like I'm being really, really valued on this team. And it just grew my confidence exponentially. And yeah, I think it was like something that I really, really needed personally. So I'm very grateful that I'm a part of it.
And we speak about it a lot on this show, but the highs and lows of sport, you've been through it as well. So it's so nice to see that you have that safe space and you have someone like Coach Cheryl Reeves, who has won like beyond multiple WNBA championships and is so good at what she does. So I can imagine hearing those words from her. You're like, wow. And it's nice to feel valued. And like you said, basketball is such also more a mental game than physical at some point. And when your confidence is skyrocketed, like look, like it's clearly shown you've had amazing seasons now with the Lynx. And we've now spoken about your coach, but what is it about your team that you think really helps you like set yourself up for success day in, day out?
Yeah, I think we just all have a common goal, like, and we kind of put ego aside to achieve it, which I think is really, really rare in professional sports. So, and like you mentioned earlier, like we just know our roles and we play by them. And at the end of the day, like basketball is just such a huge game of numbers. Like it can be whittled down to statistics. And so you look at like people's shot charts and where they're the most efficient and like what shots people maybe should or shouldn't be taking. And that's something that we kind of play by. And it works. Like we've got the best player in the league, maybe the world right now, in Nafisa Collier, and like she understands that like where she needs to get her shots from, and then we've got people around her that know where they need to be and what shots they should be taking and shouldn't be taking, and everyone's just on the same page, and so it's so easy. Like you literally don't have to think. Like it's just second nature because everyone's locked in on that.
That is, I actually find that really interesting because I don't think a lot of teams necessarily do that. I'm really impressed by that. Okay, coaches, if you're listening, this is might get you some dubs. But like watching you and the Lynx ladies, it's like super smooth, and like you said, like Bridget Carlton, corner three every single time. Like McBride coming off double staggers, that's a shot every single time. Like it's like you said, it's funny you saying that now, watching them like, oh yeah, you guys do. It's like similar shots, but you're helping each other get each other open. Um, and it looks like there's structure, but it does look like there's also freedom, and you play like you do. You have everyone's back. But do you think this is a big reason why you are in championship contention again?
Yeah, I would say so. I think like you need to have structure to be put in places to succeed. Otherwise, I think it just gets a little bit messy and like you're just prone to making mistakes when you've got some stuff to follow and a foundation that you can rely on. I think that's really helpful. And like we're drilled to be in the right spots. And so even if we're not playing technically to our structure, like it's like muscle memory for us to be where we need to be successful. It doesn't always pay off, but I think that's a big part of why we're a championship contending team. And I would say
Mhm.
also our defense as well is what has been getting us to that point too.
And compared to a lot of other teams, you've also kept a majority of your players from last season, which does help with that foundation. And obviously, we just spoke about being a championship contender. Unfortunately, last season in the WNBA final series, you only just went down 3-2 to New York Liberty. Such
Mm.
an entertaining series. As a fan of women's basketball, thoroughly enjoyed it, and just a great display of the talent that there is in the world. Has this left a fire in your belly personally, as well as the team for, gee, like it makes you hungry when you know you lost it and like it could have been yours?
Yeah, oh my God. Like just the circumstances of like that final game and how it kind of fell to that last foul call and like the outrage and the devastation and everything. Like, it was just like it was like the perfect final series. I feel like being a part of it, we're like, this is crazy. Like this is got to be the craziest series that's happened in a long time because it was so back and forth and like neck and neck and like crazy stuff was happening. Um, but like just having a taste of that and knowing how close we were, it is absolutely a goal of ours, obviously, to get back and take it all. And we know we can do it. It's just about getting through that journey to that end point. Like we're trying to focus on the journey right now because there's still like
Mm-hmm.
30 games to
So
play.
much.
Yeah.
And obviously, no doubt, you're like, this is unfinished business. from those games, like you said, it was neck and neck, but as the saying goes, in every loss, there is a lesson. Can you maybe say a couple of the lessons that as a team you were like, okay, obviously we need to focus on the process to get there, but when we're there, this is what we need to do better?
Yeah, I mean, I think we we're like a heavily focused defensive team, and I think in that series we probably needed a little bit more generation on the offensive end. I feel like we did our like what we could defensively against such a talented team that is New York. And we that's how like we've kept ourselves in it was through our defense. And so I think what's really going to push us over the line is our offense.
And now let's sort of move towards another sort of championship in the Commissioner's Cup. So you guys have a chance to defend your title, which yay, amazing. Love this. And that's against the Indiana Fever on July 1st. So everyone make sure you're tuning in and watching. And for those that don't know, the Commissioner's Cup is a in-season tournament where the winning team actually shares a prize pool of 500 grand, which is, for women's sport, this is nuts, and especially women's basketball. Like, love this for you guys. And what's also great is each team selects a non-profit organization to support. So in every win, there's additional funds awarded to those charities, which I absolutely love the reasoning behind this. What is the mindset going into this game when there is much more, I guess, than just a win at stake?
Yeah. It's such an interesting like part of the season to be a part of, because it doesn't really impact your standings. Like it's
Mm,
separate to the in-season games. And so for us, like the motivator is the money. Like obviously, obviously we want to win. Like it's a pride thing. We're
yeah.
competitors. Like we want to win. We want to prove we're the better team. But there is a large part of it that is like this is like this is really cool. Like we're getting rewarded for playing good basketball. And so
Yeah.
like I don't know, you'll hear a lot from my teammates, I'm sure, over the next 2 weeks. Like they're just out here like we're ready for to get a bat. A lot of the motivation does come from that, which is really cool because I think like we deserve it. Like I think it's really really
Mhm.
exciting times to be a part of women's sports and just like the boom that's happening right now, and like seeing women get what they deserve is like a really really cool thing to see.
And going literally off the top of what you just said, how great is it just to have so many eyes on the women's game at the moment? And especially for this title, you're obviously versed in the Fever, who have, young gun Caitlin Clark. So there's going to be like a double sets of eyes. But how great is it just to play in an atmosphere like that?
Oh my gosh, I'm so keen. Like I think it's going to be so cool. And I've played on big stages before. Like the Olympics was massive, World Cups are big, like the finals last year were huge, but like the draw that Caitlin brings to games is like unreal, and it's just a different feeling playing in front of crowds like that. And it's so fun. Like it's just a really really fun part of the game, and I think we're really excited to take it in our stride. Like what a amazing thing to be a part of and be able to play in front of huge crowds like that just like want to watch women play basketball, you know?
Well, you can feel the energy like coming through the TV screens when you're watching the games. Is there, in the last couple of seasons, is there one particular game that you just remember being like, I was fired the hell up and like this crowd was amazing and I was just on one pretty much?
Oh goodness. I would say probably the finals series last year when we played in New York. And like I can't remember which game it was. It was like a little bit later on, but we had played in New York and they were just like they'd sold out the arena and there was celebrities everywhere, and it was just like this huge event. Like it wasn't just like, oh yeah, we're going to see this game. Like it was like an event that people were just like going mental for. And like just feeling that energy and knowing that like you're a part of something so big was amazing. So like every shot you hit, you just want to be like, let's go.
Yeah.
You're out there just doing the most extra stuff, literally. Like
Yeah.
you get like a deflection and it's nothing, and you're like, yeah, like, celebrating everything because like there's just like you said, like you can feel the energy and you like feed off of it. It's really, really fun.
And I want to speak about a few of your teammates now. So I feel like maybe a couple people that might be bringing the energy besides yourself is Williams and Heidemann, and they currently both have the sort of buzz cut pink hair. How just fun is it to play with those people? Because Williams obviously played in the WNBL, which was amazing to see, and she's just grown as a player, and now she's sort of your combo 1-2 guard as well. But what's it like with those two guys? Because I'm sure they're little pocket rockets.
Yeah, I feel like they provide our team with a much needed swag. Gosh, they're hilarious. Like just amazing energy all the time. Like just really, really positive energy. And they've got this little stream going on at the moment. It's called Stud Buds. And they stream
I,
on.
I just saw this. I just saw the snippet of Heidemann talking about Skylar Diggins. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. I was sent.
Yeah, I was there. They were like there was like a kind of kerfuffle came in to break it up. So I overheard the conversation that they had where T was saying to Skylar, like, I don't have a crush on you anymore. I overheard everything.
And you're just here with your traps being like, guys, break it up.
Oh guys, step aside, like the teen bouncer.
Yeah.
No, but like that's like on the daily, like stuff like that pops up where you just have to laugh. Like these guys are just a riot to be around and they just make it so fun. And you can tell that they just like love the game of basketball as well. And so yeah, we just have so much fun with those guys. They're a treat.
And one other person who you mentioned before was Nafisa Collier. So obviously she's on your team and she's leading from the front and in contention for, still early days, but this year's MVP. What is it like to play with her? Because she's obviously just a wonderful talent. And what do you respect about her game and just how she goes about things?
Yeah, I mean, I think Fee is just like an anomaly as a basketball player. Like her game is so complete. Like I think when I watch her, she does stuff. I'm like, oh, that looks really hard. That's probably not going to go in, and it goes in every time. I'm like, what? Like, you watch, and you're like, what? That goes against all the statistics.
Yeah.
That literally shouldn't go in, but it does. And like it's not just her scoring ability, like it's just the way she reads the game and her impact goes way, way beyond scoring. Like I just think she's like an incredibly high IQ basketball player that makes everyone else around her better. And also she's just like the best person. Like she's one of the most humble superstars I've ever met in my life. And like after games and stuff, she'll just have had like 28 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 blocks. And then she's like, all right, guys, see, like I'm gonna go home to my daughter, like I'm gonna go watch Bluey tonight. Like like she's just so down to earth. And it's so refreshing to be around.
And like you said, she's a mum. So I think that's even like more wonderful that we do have more mums in all the leagues. And I feel like they become stronger and better post giving birth. And I think it's just like a testament to all the females who come back after having a kid and then doing what they do and going on with business as usual. It's actually insane.
Yeah, oh my gosh, shout out mothers.
You crack me up. But another thing I wanted to talk about was, I guess what I love about the WNBA is that they're highlighting players off the court as well as on the court. And I love that women can now be feminine, but then be like absolutely fierce and aggressive on the court. And there are amazing sponsors now of the league, like Sephora, Coach. And I would say even as small as 5 years ago, like you wouldn't even think that would be a thing or even a possibility. So I love that sort of fashion in the sport has merged, and fashion is definitely like the next in line after how well you play on the court and, you know, the wins and the L's column. But what do you love most about the game day fits and the tunnel arrivals and, you know, that big, I guess, show up?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's so unique to the WNBA. Like, I'd never ever done that before in any other league or point in my life where I'd show up to a game like fully kitted out in a fit.
Yeah.
I'd show up looking homeless to games sometimes. I had, it would look like I'd just rolled out of bed. Like, that was kind of how I'd always done it. But then, like, the WNBA, it's, I don't know, there's just like, it's a chance to express yourself. And that's what I love about the WNBA fashion side of things, is that you can just tell like what each person, like how they express themselves and their style and what they're comfortable in. Like, it's so fun to see like pre-game or post-game, like what people are wearing. Like, we all look at people's fits. Like, every one of us is like, oh, she looks super cool. Love that. That's really cool. Like, it's just it's a really fun way for you to express yourself, because like you go out on court and you just wear a uniform all the time. You can't really like show your personality, but you get to see people's personality shine through in these tunnel fits. And it's just, yeah, it's fun to see. Like, I really enjoy just like when I get to games, like just waiting and seeing what my teammates are showing up in, you know, like I never know what Courtney is going to show up in, and she wears something from Shein, like, don't know. Like,
and I love that. And like you said, we've been actually speaking about it, like just with a few people here and there lately. But the more fans get to know the personality of the player, the more they want to come watch you play, because they're not just, like you said, supporting Minnesota Lynx. They're like, we want to come cheer on Alanna Smith. Like, it's more enjoyable for them. So I love that you get to shine a light on your personality. And for you, what goes into deciding what you want to wear that day? Like, is it fun? Is it stressful? Like, I think of outfits when I'm in the shower, but it's like, what do you ever leave being like, I actually don't know what I just put on?
It's so funny you say that, because I had a little like TikTok series going on from last season where I'd rate my own fits like a few weeks after I'd worn them. Because to be honest,
I literally have this written down. It is the
Yeah.
funniest thing ever. You need to go. All yours. You need to tell people about this.
So I will say last year, not much thought process went into that. It was more a vibes thing, which sometimes paid off, sometimes it didn't. But it did provide for good content when I was reviewing my own fits, because like some of them absolutely flopped and were scary to look back on. Then others I was like, okay, like I can dress. I can do this. This year I feel like I put a little bit more effort into thinking about what I'm gonna wear and like actually like putting it on as well, like the day before I do it, because like sometimes I just threw it on, would look in the room and be like, I have to go, I can't change.
Yeah.
Now there's a little bit more prep into it. I haven't started my series for this season yet, but it's coming, it's on the way.
Okay, good. Well, everyone tune in because they're great. Like so far this season, do you think you're like slay or nay? Like what's the vibes?
Okay, there's only so many times I can blame the photographer for how I look. Oh. I'm gonna
Bad
lean.
lighting, bro.
Yeah, the lighting's not good. I'm gonna lean more towards Slay. There's definitely some questionable ones, but like we're improving from last year, which is all you can ask for, I think, is improving from where you were before. Yeah.
Love that. Improving on and off the court. That's the
Yeah.
mindset. Amen.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Lan, thank you so much for your time today. It's always appreciated, especially I know how busy you are, but we can't wait to watch you dominate on the court with the Minnesota Lynx this season, as well as we can't wait to see what fits you cook up. We'll be slaying, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
be hot all season long. And so good luck. We'll be cheering you on back home here in Australia. And also, we can't wait. Make sure you guys tune in July 1st, the Commissioner's Cup. So thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Well, thanks so much for joining me today, too, team. Tune in next week as we talk all things basketball around the globe. It's a Colwell.